Hello and welcome to Better Business Podcast. My name is Alexei, and today I want to talk about bad clients. Why is it that so many businesses get stuck with the wrong sort of customers? I mean, there's many different reasons, but what's the main one? I mean, with my marketing background, I have to say that one of the biggest reasons why you're attracting the wrong people is because your marketing message is set in a certain way, and then you sell customers a certain way. So it's really sales and marketing. Now, the other reason could be that you are, running a business where you potentially started not so long ago, and you've got quite a few people on board at a cheaper rate, and those people absolutely love what you had to offer. And as a result, they're referring people just like that to you as well. If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. So let's talk about the poor marketing more specifically. Well, first of all, are you doing your own marketing? Do you know what you're actually doing? Because many people, when you speak to them about who their ideal customer is, they can just tell you that my ideal customer is anyone who wants, let's say, I don't know, plumbing or roof, or basically has got a house or something. Well, it's not really that simple, guys. Like, you really need to understand each persona when it comes to a buying audience, and understand their pain points as well as the obstacles. And then you really got to understand whether they're the right people for you as well. So first of all, I think you got to really look at the process bigger, and then understand exactly the sort of customers that you want. So work it backwards. I think that would be probably the best way to do it, because there is a certain way you sell and onboard customers, and then there is a marketing message that needs to reflect that. If you don't do that, or somebody else does your marketing for you, you need to align those things, because I am speaking to a lot of people who are very busy. And then when you speak to them about the actual outcome, they seem to be just getting by. So wouldn't you rather be focusing on better customers, and take them through a process so that they're the right people to work with? And especially if you're in an ongoing sort of relationship where you have to deal with them for a period of time, we've got a subscription type service where they basically pay you a monthly retainer. You really got to make sure you filter them as well. So first of all, understand who is it that you're after, and really understand what pricing you should be charging. So if you're not sure, I suggest doing some market research, because if you haven't really looked at your pricing in a while, things have changed quite a lot. We've had obviously COVID, we had after COVID, we've had all the things with the cost of living going up. So there's quite a few things that you should be looking at. So make sure before you take any more customers that you charge properly. If there is some sort of a condition and people basically need a little bit of time to get to know you, if you're in a subscription game, work out some sort of a process, but make sure you charge proper, because if you don't do that, you will have to compromise on the quality, or basically do something that will cost you more time. And in the end, that is really not a business that you want to be running. So make sure that you set some boundaries around that, and then work on your sales process. Why is it that people are coming on board? Do they choose you because of the price? Do they choose you because of your reputation? So really, I think you got to look at taking people through a bit of a process. We found that one of the keystones for a lot of businesses was really their proposal process. I mean, in the trades industry, the tradies absolutely love sending out, a one-page proposal just outlining the pricing, and it doesn't really give you very much to work with. So if you look into systems like PandaDocs, for example, or Proposify, they've actually got templates that you could use to put more information into your proposal than just the pricing. Because when it comes to sales, if all you're going to give the customer is the price, that's how they're going to, choose you. And overall, if the conversation does involve, how much do you charge, you need to make sure you answer that question once you've got enough information about the customer and their goals, and obviously align that with your needs as well. If you're just selling on price, well, that is a big problem straight away. So, qualifying process. If we keep working backwards, you got someone at the sales point, you know how to sell them, you know how to send them a proposal. Qualifying process. What qualifying process do you have before you do that sales call? Do you gather all the necessary information about when the person wants to do a particular job, or who they are, or potentially what their goals are? This may be, not so easy, but you may want to break up your sales process in two stages. And especially if you're in the B2B market, this is something I highly advise that you look into, because you're not really going to close people on the first interaction. You probably will close them on the follow-up, and sometimes the follow-up is just a little bit distant. So if you do something like a discovery session and a strategy session, the follow-up becomes a lot easier, because once you interact with a person 3 times, especially if you're selling a high ticket item, that works out really well. And for those in that sort of field, you'll probably hear that it happens anyway. You need to speak to a person at least half a dozen times before you come, and really start that relationship with them as a customer and a provider. So I think another thing that could really be an issue as well, especially in a B2B, is the lack of onboarding. Is there a proper onboarding process? Is there something that's standardized? Are you measuring that? Now, this is basically going another level, but potentially the onboarding process is really something that could be making your business a lot better than anything else. Okay. I mean, if people are comparing you with companies that provide a service from overseas or someone who provides a really, really budget solution, you really need to have a strong point of difference. You really need to make sure you identify those. Now, when it comes to marketing, finally, well, what sort of message are you pushing out there? What is it specifically that you're attracting people by? And is there maybe a nurture process in place? Because I think a lot of people, when they get into marketing, especially with things like Facebook ads or Google ads, get a lot of inquiries coming through where people are just not ready for the conversation. And if you're going to enter the conversation specifically at the standpoint of, hey, I provide X and I need it at this particular time, you probably won't be able to connect the dots. When it comes to social media, the customer journey really requires a little bit of a warm-up process in order to get people in the right conversation, which is where a lot of automation can work to your favor. So really depends on your marketing, really depends on what you're paying for the marketing, who does it. If you're doing it all yourself, and obviously you're getting the wrong sort of leads coming through and you just taking them on board to make sure that the wheels keep spinning, I think you're doing it wrong. I think it's worthwhile maybe reaching out to an agency that does specialize in your industry. So Google up, have a look at who the leaders are. Do some background checks, see who they're using and what these companies charge. It's not so difficult to find this information, especially with tools like ChatGPT. You could run a very simple query to basically say, who are the top, let's say, plumbers in my area, and then find out, exactly who these plumbers are using for their marketing. Well, that's a bit more of an exercise, but hopefully you get the idea. So look, my goal today is really to help you understand and start thinking about which factors may be affecting your customers. And it just breaks my heart to talk to businesses that are dealing with the wrong sort of customers, and they're getting frustrated and they're not getting paid very well. And most importantly, these people, when they get a negative review at the end of the process, sometimes they just feel completely distraught as the outcome of this whole exercise. So please make sure you fine-tune your marketing, make sure you have a process for your sales, and make sure you're not just selling on price, guys, because I do want everybody to have a business that actually works for them, as opposed to a business that works for God knows who, because it's certainly not working for the customer if it's not working for you. I mean, there is obviously a lot of different philosophies, win-win, lose-win and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure you've got something that's scalable. You want to obviously focus on something that you can, enjoy and engage other people to, do as well. My ideal of a business is somebody who basically, enjoys what they do and has got a passion to solve that particular problem. And look, this may be deep and meaningful, but I think if that's the true nature of your business, you'd want to obviously be able to offer this to more people. So have a look at your marketing, have a look at what's stopping you from scaling your marketing, have a look at the gaps in the whole process. And look, the simplest thing any business coach can tell you is double your prices, and essentially you'll have the number of clients that you have to deal with, and you'll have the same sort of money and more time on your hands. The reason why it's so hard to do that is because a lot of people don't believe in that sort of process, or they keep using the same sort of leads that they basically get, or they use the same sort of marketing they get some same sort of people, and they're just unable to do that easily enough. Anyway, well, that's a topic for another conversation. This is Better Business Podcast. Make sure you share this episode with your friends and anyone who may benefit from tips like this. Looking forward to speaking to you sometime. Reach out, let's have a chat, or leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.